Remember playing NHL 94? All the fun you had playing with your friends and family? Flying down the ice with Pavel Bure, unleashing a killer one-timer with Mario Lemieux, the terrible missed penalty call by Kerry Fraser, from the high stick by Gretzky Young Gilmore in Game 6? Wait, skip the last part, that wasn't NHL 94. What if I could tell you you could relive those days? Do it once again, but do it online. All you need is a decent computer, wired internet because Wi-Fi makes for bad experience, and a joystick because playing with a keyboard is Bush League, and you're better than that because you're NHL 94 Pro. Let's go through the process to get you playing NHL 94 once again. So here I am in Windows 11. I'm using my virtual machine to run this. So the process is simple to get set up. It's really easy. So open up your favorite Explorer and then go to NHL94.com. Now my computer is going to be a little bit slower than yours because it is running through a virtual machine. So just bear with me in the speed. So it's very simple. You go to the up here, it says 94 online, click on that, and getting started. It's going to open up a new window, a new tab, and it shows the instructions. Now, easy to follow. I'm going to show you the process. It's very simple, and you have two different options. You could either have for Windows or Mac. I'm going to show you the Windows process. The Mac version, it talks about it here on what to do. And again, if you just want to go to the website, go to NHL94.com, click on 94 online. It will bring up the getting started, how to play NHL 94 online. So the requirements are simple. Windows, it doesn't require a heck of a lot. Just a 64-bit CPU running Windows 7 to 11. The Mac, can't really say much except it says generally a Mac from 2015 or newer is fine. So if you have a Mac from that time span, you're okay. So the process for installing it on Windows, getting started and getting to play NHL 94 online is you go down, you see the download link for the RetroArch package, you click this, and this has everything you need, including the ROMs. So you click on that guy, it's going to save it, and well, it's pretty quick. So you open a file, double click it to open, and it has a whole bunch of files in this. Just right click anywhere and say extract all. So where do you want to extract that to? It's wherever you think is best. For me, I'm going to choose my desktop, and I'm going to select a folder in there called RetroArch. Extract. And we just wait it out, and I'll fast forward. Okay, it's almost finished now, and as I mentioned, I put it to my desktop, and I used the directory name RetroArch. You can name it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It just doesn't make any difference what name you call it. So you see over here, I have my RetroArch folder. You click that, and there you go. So you have the new folder, the RetroArch 1.17 Win64. And in order to start RetroArch, you click on this little guy here. It says RetroArch, and it's got a little icon associated to it. And when you click it, it's going to open up RetroArch. And since my computer is a little bit slow because I'm running through a virtual machine, yours will be a little bit quicker. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to... before we go any further, how to navigate things, I'm going to show you quickly. And it says here exactly how it's done on the website. So the move is you use the arrow keys on the keyboard. To select something, you click Enter on your keyboard. To go back a menu, you click the backspace key. And to exit RetroArch, you click the Escape key. And the first thing you're probably going to want to do, so now you know how to navigate through the menus with the up, down, left, right key, etc. So you go to load core, and you're going to want to load the correct core depending on which version of NHL 94 you want to play. So if you want to play the SNES version, you click on this, the Nintendo, and you click enter or press enter. Or if you want to play the Genesis version, you go to Sega and you press enter. It's all loaded in here. It's awesome that it's done that for you. The next step you're going to have to do is the controller configuration. And so you're going to want to enter all your inputs for your controller. So you go to settings, you go to input, you go to RetroPad binds, port 1 controls, and here's where you're going to be entering everything to map your joystick to this RetroArch. And you do have a joystick, right? That's plugged in. You're not using a USB, so you're not using a Bluetooth. USB is what you want, a wired joystick, right? That's the way to do it. Anyways, D-pad up, press enter, and then you press up on your D-pad and you map that. I'm not doing it on this one because this is through my virtual machine, so I'm just showing the process. You're going to want to map the D-pad up, the D-pad down, and every time you map it, you just press enter and you press down on your D-pad. For this one, for instance, you're going to want to do D-pad left, so you press enter on this and you press left on your D-pad. And same thing with D-pad right. You're going to want to map that as well. You're going to want to map the B button, the A button, that's the C button in Genesis. So if you remember Genesis, C button, that's the right button. They call it A here in RetroArch. The left button, the Y button, is the A button. Kind of confusing, I know. So when you old Genesis controller, the A button, they associate it here as the Y button. So you want to map this. You press enter, you press A button on your controller, and that's going to be what they call the Y button here. It doesn't matter about the X button. You don't really need to map that unless you're using the SNES. Then of course you'll be mapping these all correctly. The select button only really matters for the SNES, and the start button, you're going to have to map it for both the SNES and Genesis. The shoulders, the L and R shoulders, not needed for the Genesis version, but definitely needed for the SNES version. So you press back, and you're done that part. Next thing you want to do is change your name. So you're going to want to go to settings. So I'll go back to the main menu. So you go back to settings, user, and this is going to be a name you're going to be showing up online when you play. And the name you're going to enter is whatever you want. I'm going to put my name, Len, the Legend. There we go. And that's it. Now you are ready to play some NHL 94. So where you find it is, depending on where you loaded up your RetroArch, you're going to have to go to find it. So you go start directory, and you go to, there you go, Genesis, and I can play each of these I wanted. There's a 2-on-2 version of NHL 94, the NHL 94, and the playoffs version of NHL 94. But if you were playing the SNES version, you get the same thing. The playoff version, the regular 5v5, and also the 2v2. So that's basically it. And with that, you're able to start playing some NHL 94, and you are good to go. The last thing you should do after you exit this, press escape twice, is you're going to want to go to Discord. And if you go to the very top of this website, the NHL94.com website, so remember when I said to get there, you go to NHL94.com, you click on online, getting started. And from there, it's going to show you join our Discord chat server. Click here. This is the invite in order to get on the Discord. And I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. So I just jumped on my regular computer, and I'm going to show you how to join the Discord server. And this is where you're going to find people in the community to talk to, join leagues, play exhibition games, the whole 9 yards. So first thing you're going to want to do is install the Discord app. Find it wherever, just type in Discord into Google and download the right version for your computer, if it's the Mac, if it's the Windows, whatever, and install it. It's really just a chatting application. That's the best way I could describe it. And so once you have it installed, click here, this little icon. It's going to open up the invite to get into the NHL 94 Discord. So you click this, and then your Discord should pop up. There's my Discord, and this is the NHL 94 Discord. So there's basically all the goodies going on here. So maybe the first thing you may want to do is go to the welcome page and just, introduce yourself. Just say who you are, if you're SNES guy or a Genesis guy, or maybe both. And then when you're, if you're having some difficulties with your hardware, for instance, the joystick doesn't work for whatever reason, or you just can't load up the game and there's some problems, you go to the help tab over here and you go to the RetroArch 1.17 troubleshooting. And in there, you just type in your message, and the good people on this forum will be able to provide you some assistance. And if you're looking for games, just go to the Exhibition Games tab and just type EXY. And once you do, you'll have people jumping out of windows trying to play you, because there's tons of people always looking to play NHL 94 online. And last but not least, if you want to join anything, any servers, any games, any leagues, there's tons of like SNES leagues, and there's tons. Oh, these are the SNES leagues. Here they are. Tons of them, and there's even more Genesis. Just pick whichever one you want to play and go nuts and jump in, see if there's an opening in the league, and away you go. So that's it. That's basically how you set up your system to play online, how you join a Discord, where to find people to play games. I guess the last thing I'm going to show you is how to actually play somebody online. I'm just going to show you a real quick overview how it's done. So give me 1 second. I'll open up my RetroArch. So I have my RetroArch open here, and in order to find somebody to play with, so you went on the Discord, you went to the exhibition section, you organized a match to play somebody. So the way to do it, you go to NetPlay, and you could either host. I would recommend not hosting initially, but eventually you're going to want to learn how to host a game. But have somebody else host a game, and once they do have it hosted, in order to find a hosted game that you could join, you go to refresh NetPlay host list, and you could see some people to join games. So these are not all NHL 94. A lot of it is anything, like just any game under the sun that's going to be played under RetroArch. Like here's Mario All-Stars, but I'm not going to even look at it. But either way, you're going to find your opponent's name here. So for example, if myself, Len the Legend, was going to be hosting, you'd find it under one of these, and it would say over here, it's in alphabetical order. You'd say Len the Legend somewhere around here, and you click on it and you could play me in NHL 94. And so that is it. I hope you enjoyed it, found this helpful, and if you have any questions, concerns, feel free to write in at the bottom or meet me on the NHL 94 Discord. I'll be there along with a host of other people, and we'll be looking to play you, help you, whatever it is you need over there with respect to NHL 94.